Okay, let's dive in. Imagine this. A celebrity chef, right at the peak of his game, he decides to take $1.3 million of his own money, no outside investors, just his savings, and sink it all into this tiny, super high-risk restaurant, only 24 seats. I mean, how far would you actually go for a dream? Because that's exactly what Curtis Stone did, the Aussie chef. Started out scrubbing pans in London. What's your first thought when you hear that? Just, wow, it sounds completely nuts, doesn't it? Like a pure gamble, putting your house on the line. He literally said that later for something that, most people would see as incredibly niche, incredibly risky. You'd almost expect it to crash and burn. But, well, that's not what happened at all, and that's what makes this story so compelling. It really does. Because that $1.3 million bet, it didn't just work out. It completely exploded. It turned into this $25 million global culinary empire. We're talking 4 restaurants now, a huge 55-acre farm, primetime TV shows, big retail deals. It's massive.
And look, this isn't just your standard rags to riches tale, though it's got bits of that. What we're really digging into today is the mindset, right? The specific strategies Curtis Stone used.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack how he managed to build all this influence, this legacy, and, serious wealth, but without losing touch with where he came from. It's kind of a masterclass in looking at risk differently, building assets with real soul, and, making authenticity your edge.
Okay, so let's go straight to that gamble, the big one. 2014, lots of celebrity chefs then were, putting their names on chains, chasing TV deals, standard stuff. But Curtis Stone does the opposite. Cashes out $1.3 million, personal savings, no investors, no safety net, to open Maude. Tiny place, 24 seats, fine dining, Beverly Hills. And he later admitted, quote, "I risked my house to open Maude." He meant it. That just sounds terrifying, doesn't it? How do you even justify that level of personal risk, especially for a restaurant where the entire menu changes every single month?
It is terrifying. But see, this is where his idea of risk just flips everything upside down. For Curtis, risk wasn't really about the money he spent. It was about what he might give up. Control. Seems almost backwards, right? How could more control actually lower his risk?
So it wasn't just a financial bet. He was buying complete creative freedom. 100% ownership. He called all the shots down to the last detail.
Exactly. So instead of splitting profits or having investors water down his vision, he bought the freedom to build something totally authentic to him. And that conviction, well, it paid off fast. Within a year, Maude's popping up on Best of LA lists. By 2019, boom, a Michelin star. What's really key here is that this whole empire wasn't just built on cash, it was built on conviction, on fundamentally rethinking what risk even means. He used his own skin in the game to guarantee creative freedom.
And you can see where that conviction came from looking back. His journey didn't start with TV glamour at all. He started in those really intense London kitchens, working for Marco Pierre White.
Oh yeah, notoriously tough.
Right, so he learned discipline, precision, attention to detail under crazy pressure. That built his craftsman's credibility, you could call it. It's interesting how that early grind seems to be the foundation for everything else.
Yeah.
How did that translate into building actual assets later?
That's a really important link, because when he moved to LA, became the take-home chef on TV, he wasn't just basking in the fame. He was quietly, very shrewdly, using that platform to build a foundation of, appreciating assets. So between 2014 and 2024, he puts together this very carefully chosen portfolio of restaurants.
Okay, let's tick them off. Maude, in 2014, the flagship, small, Michelin star, check. Then 2016, Gwen in Hollywood. That's the hybrid butcher shop and restaurant, right? Named after his grandmother.
His maternal grandmother, yeah. Fire-focused cooking.
Then 2023, the Pie Room by Gwen opens at LAX. A bit different modern British, aiming for volume, brand reach in a busy airport.
Smart move for visibility.
And just this year, 2024, Wooden down in Riviera Maya, Mexico, his first international place, blending his Californian style with local Mexican ingredients.
And if you zoom out, you see the strategy, right? Each one has a purpose. Maude is prestige. Gwen is the butcher shop hybrid, different vibe. Pie Room is reach. Wooden is international. He talks about brand density over footprint. He's not trying to be everywhere. He wants a few masterpieces that really say something rather than, a bunch of okay places. And it's working. Mid-2025 estimates put his net worth around $25 million. That's restaurants, products, retail, media, the whole package.
And the thing that really stands out, that emotional layer you mentioned earlier, naming them after the women who raised him. Maude, Gwen. It's not the Curtis Stone steakhouse. It makes the whole portfolio feel like this living tribute, a story. not just business. It's like building assets with, well, soul.
That's a perfect way to put it, and it brings up a big question. How do you keep that soul, that authenticity when you scale up? Most chefs are famous for their knives. Curtis Stone, he's getting known for his shovel, too.
Huh. I like that. So 2022, he buys Four Stones Farm, 55 acres out in Agora Hills, California, a working farm. And he's not just like the owner on paper. He's properly hands-on. Planted the vineyard himself, walks the vines, checks the soil. His first wine, tiny batch. Just 230 cases bottled last fall. That's not for big profits, is it? That's about the story.
Exactly. That's the whole point, and it perfectly illustrates this idea. Proximity equals authenticity. When you see him there, literally getting his hands dirty, the farm isn't just about sourcing ingredients. It's this multifunctional engine for the brand. Sure, it supplies the restaurants, but it's also a filming location for his PBS show, Field Trip. They host dinners there. Brand partnerships happen there. There's zero gap between what he talks about and what he actually does. That builds incredible trust,
Yeah, and you feel it in those unscripted moments. Like on the show, he finds a beet, brushes the dirt off.
Yeah.
And he just says, this is what my grandmother would pick. It hits differently because it feels so real. He's built something lasting, not just trendy, by being so physically connected to it all.
Which brings us right to his core philosophy, really. Naming the restaurants Maude and Gwen after his grandmothers. That's not just cute branding, it's like his internal compass.
It feels like a real anchor. Makes every decision seem more deliberate. He says that for him, food isn't just about taste. It's story, emotion, memory. Those monthly menus at Maude, they're not just about what's in season. They're built around deeper themes, places, stories.
And this focus on meaning, it's why he's apparently turned down a lot of big money deals, licensing his name, franchise opportunities, the typical celebrity chef stuff. He felt it would dilute what his work actually means. He wants to be true where he is, not just everywhere. I mean, think about that. How many people today would walk away from potentially huge paychecks to protect the meaning behind their work? He's got this quote, "Every dish we put out should say something, otherwise it's just food." That's about making business choices based on intention, not just the bottom line.
And that intention seems to create this quiet but really strong influence. He's not just an influencer in the usual sense. He's more like a strategic collaborator.
Yeah.
His partnerships feel very deliberate, aligned with his values, not just about exposure.
You nailed it there. Like his 2024 gig as ambassador for Cobram Estate olive oil, premium brand, shared values about sustainability, quality. Makes sense. Or that long-running deal with Coles supermarkets in Australia since 2010. His Curtis Stone kitchen solutions, line cookware, meal kits. It's practical, useful. And in 2025, partnering with Gather, that chef-for-hire platform expanding into the U.S., he brings credibility to something new in food tech.
So his influence isn't just about being famous, it's structural almost.
Yeah.
It's about embedding himself in these quality ecosystems, getting his products out there, but also shaping his image as someone who curates a certain lifestyle, a legacy. It's interesting, all these pieces, the TV, the retail, the farm, they all seem to connect and boost each other, like a cycle.
That's a really sharp observation. We've sort of started calling it the double influence loop. It's like this feedback system, right? TV visibility builds his reputation. That reputation opens doors for retail deals. The trust from those deals feeds back into his content, maybe on the farm or new shows. It creates this really robust, durable system. It's not just one hit after another. Each project reinforces the others. He's building what you might call a reputation economy, where his name means something respected, not just recognized.
And that long-term thinking, that resilience really came through during the pandemic, didn't it? COVID-19 hit the restaurant world so hard. Many high-end places, Michelin stars included, had to close. But Curtis Stone managed to adapt. His setup, that multi-lane system he'd already built, kind of insulated him.
Absolutely. Think about it. He already had a digital audience from TV. He had ongoing revenue from retail partnerships. He'd already dabbled in home chef services. And crucially, he had Four Stones Farm. That farm became a controlled environment where he could shift focus, create content, develop ideas, even when restaurants were shut. It wasn't luck, it was strategic design. He'd built in optionality, the ability to pivot without compromising who he was.
He wasn't just trying to survive, he kept building right through it. And he put it perfectly himself, didn't he? Something like, I wanted to keep telling stories, whether that was in a dining room or on a dirt path between vines, the stories didn't stop. That mindset, that focus on the story above all else, made his brand adaptable, resilient, kind of timeless, really.
So when you boil it all down, what's the takeaway? Curtis Stone didn't just build restaurants and sell cookware. He built a philosophy you can actually, taste. He consistently chose meaning over just sheer momentum, integrity over going viral, and building trust over chasing trends. His empire isn't impressive just because of its size. It's impressive because it has soul.
Yeah, the big lesson here feels pretty universal, actually. Your most valuable asset. It isn't your bank account. It's your clarity. When you really know who you are, what your work is truly about, you don't need to shout the loudest. You build influence through substance. Curtis Stone kind of shows us that empires don't always start with a bang. Sometimes they start quietly, with a seed planted, a story told, a dish served to honor someone you love. And when you build with that kind of intention, people notice.
So maybe the question for you listening right now is this. What's the one bold thing you'd build if you leaned into your gut feeling a bit more and maybe feared failure a little less? What would it look like if you created something the world didn't just consume but actually remembered?